In the morning, we felt like we did a really good job. In the morning. But what happened? In the afternoon. Why only this much we did? Yeah, tomorrow we have a Kenji, I guess.
I'm feeling good.
You good?
Hopefully we can finish everything before the snow.
Yeah.
Looks like it's really soon.
Yeah.
So we have to fucking hurry up.
Hey, I heard I asked 2 different people, local people here, when it snows, and they said that once it snows 3 times in the mountain just beside us
Alright,
here, the third time it snows there, then it's gonna start snowing here.
Yeah, you're fucked up, man. It's gonna end up a little bit around here.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Snow can fall as early as December, but we're already into November. I don't mean centimeters or inches. I mean feet and meters of snow. 15 meters or 50 feet on average. But we have Kenji's help, we have a new order of plywood, and we have a method down for making the floor. We're making good progress. That is, until...
So for whatever reason, this beam here was laid directly on the ground. And it supports a column that goes all the way to the roof structure. So if you are renovating an old Japanese house, be extra careful for any kind of beam that is laying on the ground.
So this is beaten down until the very core. Yeah, but we're cutting this beam to replace it. This post.
Yeah?
And we're gonna make some piece of art in here. Some kind of Japanese shape that you will never see again after you finish the house. But it's gonna be beautiful under here. So. This was the easy part.
But we found more problems with the foundation. The dodai is a beam that sits on the foundation and goes around the perimeter of the house. It was rotten in several spots. Meanwhile, it has snowed for the second time on the hill beside our house.
Master of Hammer.
Kenji, how do you feel?
Tired.
Into the Naya, which is behind me here. That's the shed, and it's super creepy inside. I mean, the first floor we cleaned out already, but that was still disgusting. Basically, just had been abandoned for a long time. The walls had kind of deteriorated, so animals and birds and stuff were living inside of it. Not now, I hope, but anyways, there's a mountain, figurative, literal mountain of crap on part of the second floor. It's just where all the hay was. I guess an animal was living there, probably a raccoon. And raccoons apparently all shit in the same place, so there's just this one big pile of shit, raccoon shit, I guess. Feces. droppings. I don't know, whatever. We have a bunch of words for poop, but this is a big pile of poop and scat. Yeah, I could keep going for a while. That on the other side, which was covered in the stink bugs in Japan, which are everywhere. This big stack of wood, covered in dust, covered in more dust, covered in crap. Anyways, shook off all the crap and dust and stuff and kamimushi, and found a bunch of awesome wood that we're going to use to repair the foundation.
映画です。今日はお金もらい来ました。
A ledger board is helpful for holding the joists, but cutting the notches was really slow.
I mean, we're just chugging along here with the floor and putting in foundation, replacing foundation as we go. For each room that we're renovating, I usually do kind of like a detailed note about how we're gonna replace the floor and what parts we need to buy to do that. And I also do like a separate MEP detail that covers what, I mean, most things don't have any mechanical in them, or maybe they should, but they don't. But covers the electrical and the plumbing for each room. The electrical is pretty straightforward. There's only 5 circuit breakers for the whole house. One is just the air conditioning, 200 volts. The rest of it is 100 volts. And one goes outside to the shed, so that leaves 3. One goes to one outlet, and the other 2 go to the rest of the house. And roughly like half and half for the north and south sides of the house. Here we use jet fuel or kerosene for heating and for heating water. And for cooking, we'll be using propane gas, LP gas. So there isn't a whole lot of electricity here. Our service is only 40 amps, which is, you know, equivalent to a few hair dryers. I want to talk a little bit about the plumbing. So we've kind of gotten to the point where we have to start putting in and roughing in plumbing. And it seems that in Japan, they use steel pipe, plain steel pipe, to do the LP gas. Simple, straightforward. You can buy it in 2 meter, 1 meter, and shorter lengths. It's threaded. You buy fittings, you put it together. And we took a look at some different commercial stoves, and they all seem to use 20A service. So we ran 20A pipe, and we put in 2 fittings that would go to an oven and a and a stove respectively. To make sure it was safe, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I probably still don't know what I'm doing, but I did the fittings with Teflon tape, which is a big no-no apparently. So I took it apart and redid it with this plumber's dope called Hermé Seal. And then after I did that, I tightened it up really tight, taped a bike pump to one of the ends, put some dish soap around the fittings, and pumped it until they would leak. So one of them did leak. It ended up being just an end cap that leaked. So I tightened that up, and then after that it seemed fine. The pressure in a gas line is very minimal. It's slightly above air pressure. It's not like the pressure in say like a water pipe or whatever else. It's really like quite low pressure, so I think it'll be fine. The drain pipe, it's pretty straightforward. We used the U40 PVC pipe. The angle that it goes down at, I think, is around 2 degrees. It's 1/50 for every 50 centimeters you drop 1 centimeter, which is not that much. The PEX pipe is 13A size, which is roughly 13 millimeters inside diameter. And the insulation on the outside is about 5 millimeters. It's a tool we bought. It's MCC is the brand, and JPC37 is the product number. I bought this off Monotero. I think it's like under $20. It's you can buy the PEX pipe with 2 different types of insulation, either 10 millimeter thickness or 5 millimeter thickness. We are trying to do the home run plumbing topology, going from a manifold for hot, a manifold for cold, and then going to each one. It seemed like a simpler way than try to figure out how to size the pipes so that you have the right pressure at every point. To me, this is way more straightforward. And the PEX pipe is not really that expensive. It's about $3 or 300 yen per meter. The fittings we got are these flange fittings. Pink ring just clips around it. Yeah, if you're buying those things, don't forget to buy a hole saw or a drill bit that's capable of drilling those sizes, because then you have all the pieces and nothing to do with them because you can't drill holes. There's 2 snowfalls already, slightly higher up on the mountain above us, and I'm thinking that it's gonna snow more pretty soon.
네. 서비스ニンニクラッキーニンニクサービスあっちは大根違うリンゴサービスだからこれちょっと